Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Living life a little reckless right now. But I wanted to come in with this. This is about a month old. We're gonna cover it anyway. Um, Look, shout out to Selkis Ray. I'm gonna tag her name in the title after the video. The link is in the description for what I am responding to. And um so we're responding to Selkis Ray speaking about Ebony K. Williams when Ebony K. Williams was essentially telling the ladies, hey, seek out that MRS degree when you're in college and university. This is the best opportunity to meet a man of like mind, potentially same career path, et cetera, et cetera. And Succus Ray is low key kind of reprimanding the ladies, including the older women, um, for telling younger women, so women in their 30s and 40s, for telling women in their 20s, no, you have time, and and Selkis actually, calls women out for like, wait, so when she was saying these things about men, and she was, essentially saying men are not on the level and these women need to raise better men, y'all were good with that, right? Y'all loved it. But then when Ebony K. Williams, says, hey, ladies, the college and university is the best time, then y'all have an issue with it. So she's kind of low key reprimanding. But then, we get into the conversation, right? So if y'all check out the thumbnail, it's a brother who's pretty much saying like, yo, this is not exclusively black men. Like, this is not, it's pretty much, he's trying to say it's the environment, it's the circumstances, like marriage is not worth it. And then you're going to get murked and divorced anyway. And, it's probably going to end in divorce. So Sucker sits in with the risk thing, right? Like everything is a risk, which is true, and y'all still having kids, which by the way she did say in the video, right? So she did also say y'all are still having children though. Actually, and this is where I come in. Actually, no, Selkis. Actually, we're not. The birth rate is 1.8 even in the black community. So what that means is below replacement level. You need 2.1 children per woman to maintain your population. The black community is at 1.8. The white community is at 1.6. Right? So we're not actually at replacement level. So yeah, more and more even black people are not having children. So they're not getting married and not having children. Right? And so, and then you saw in the live comments and in the comments, that are posted now, obviously black women talking around it and actually outright saying it. Well, the problem is y'all limiting yourself to just black men. Once again, the birth rate in the white society is 1.6. Remember, you need 2.1 to maintain your population, right? They're not getting married. Also, the divorce rate went down in recent years because the marriage rate went down. You can't get divorced if you don't get married. That includes non-black people. It's so quick. And to answer your question, Selkis, the reason why they had an issue with Ebony is because we pathologize black men. If it don't come back to it's Jermaine's fault, it's always Jermaine's fault. If the comment or the question or the statement concerning black women, their marriage prospects, their dating prospects, child rearing, child birthing, all of that, dating, all of that, or in your case, courting, right? If it doesn't come back to it's always Jermaine's fault, black women don't want to hear it. So of course they had an issue with what Ebony K. Williams was saying, because Ebony K. Williams was telling them to take some aid, they have agency and take some responsibility and actually, seek relationships out for marriage in their 20s. Number one. Number two, and we just have to be honest about this, black women, many black women, have a negative liberty view of life. They're operating on negative liberty. They don't want to be in a relationship with a man because they see it as constraining. We just have to be honest. We have to be honest, and that's not exclusively a black woman thing, but it is seriously a black woman thing. They don't want to be in a relationship or married to any man, particularly a black man, because they see it as constraining. I can't do what I want to do when I want to do it. I can't get up and go whenever I want. They inherently know there's things that come with marriage, right? And they don't want that. We got to be honest, right? That doesn't mean they don't want the resources. Dear Selkis, black women and women in general, but black women still want a man's resources. Of course they do. They still want the money. They still want the status that might come with the man of means. They just don't want him to have any say over their life. I would like to direct you to D Wade and Gabrielle Union. Why did she everybody act like they didn't hear what she said when she said pretty much they got into an argument. He was like, "This is my house," and that's when she started paying her own stuff. So let me get this right. You get with a rich man, not even rich, a wealthy, famous man, and you think you're gonna what? Dictate to him? Negative liberty. That we gotta be honest. And Selkis, that's what the women aren't saying. That I don't know if you're pretending like you don't understand, or you get, or you don't really. Well, you're a woman, you're a black woman, so there's no way you don't get it. But if Mr. Z has to be the one to say it blatantly, oh well, right? Negative liberty, right? So yeah, between pathologizing black men, it's always Jermaine's fault, and black women's concept of negative liberty, of course you're gonna have this, right? And we just gotta be honest about that, right? So what the brother said, yeah, and then so, obviously Suck is like, well, y'all not getting married, but y'all still having kids. Well, no, they're not. Black women aren't having children. Like I said it before. I came into the black manosphere saying that just because you see one Keisha in the hood with 4 or 5 kids from 3, 4 different men, you forget about all the other black women well into their 40s, their late 30s, their 40s with no children. Maybe one child they had at 36, 37 on some Hail Mary pass thing. They were with the man for just long enough to have a child. Yes, and that's happening to professional women. Maybe not upper middle class women, but that middle management level because they still want to have a child, right? So they're with the man just long enough to conceive and for the kid to make its first steps, if even, and then they're done. And it's the women, I want to say this again, Sulcus. It's the women breaking the relationships off. Women are the ones filing for divorce at 80%, 70 to 80%. Women are the ones that are breaking off relationships at what, 90%. If they're college educated, they're filing for divorce when there's a divorce at 90%. Negative liberty. We refuse to speak about it like this. Women are essentially saying, if you're super rich and I didn't sign alimony, excuse me, if I didn't sign the prenup so that I could get alimony, then maybe I stay for 20 years. If you're doing well enough and you have enough money and status, and I didn't sign that prenup, no, I'm sorry, I did sign a prenup. What am I saying? Let's say it one more again, Mr. Z. Could you get it out this time? If you're doing well enough and you had me sign a prenup and I won't get alimony, then maybe you get 20, 25 years out of me in a marriage. And I perform certain duties and I play a certain role. Maybe. But in every other situation and case, maybe not. Right? And y'all give me a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? So, you know, try not to lose my train of thought here. Yeah, no, we have to be honest that the women are saying that. Okay, there we go. 20 years, maybe 25 years, but all these other working class and working poor and lower middle class women are saying, yeah, nope, not so much, right? And our society doesn't know. So yeah, Ebony K. Williams said what she said, and Suckus is over here kind of backing her up. But even in that, yeah, if you're in college and university, yes, you should get your MRS degree or at least be open to it. And what did Ebony K. Williams say that's wrong? And but even in that, Suckus is still a little off because no, first, it's not that they're not getting married and having children. Yes, that's happening, but not to the degree you think, Suckus. 1.8 child per woman birth rate in the black community, 1.6 for white folks. Pretty much the US population is being floated by some Latinos and recent immigrants. If it wasn't for that, America would be somewhere around where Western Europe is in population right now. Well, birth rate, better yet, birth rate. Right? So yeah, it's not exactly what you think, Selkis. It's not exactly. We just have to be honest about black women have a taste of blood, and that is always constantly forever pathologizing black men. They don't want to hear anything that doesn't come back down to it's Jermaine's fault. Once again, hashtag the Roots article, right? Yeah, I read it. I read it. Wolf says, Z, you got to read her rebuttal to the comment you put on the thumbnail. She talking about all relationships are risky, so man should impregnate fruit flies, avoid risk. Then what? Look, it's as if it's like what Mr. Z tells the women. Well, if y'all don't want to be with us, then once again, if you don't want to be with working class, working poor, lower middle class men, then go lobby the U.S. government to make polygamy legal, or right get your boxing shoes and boxing gloves ready to fight for the top 20, top 15, top 10, top 1% of men, or engage in same-sex relationships. So I don't actually fault her for that comment. Here's the problem though. The men are telling you that it's not worth the risk. The juice is not worth the squeeze, and they're not budging. Now what? See, I said it. And we know this. See, and shout out to the Xers. This is we gotta give the Generation X props, especially younger Xers. Xers under the age of 50. We gotta give them props on this, right? The society called their bluff and pretty much said, I'm talking to the men, particularly the black men, oh, you're gonna get desperate enough. Eventually you're gonna get desperate enough. You're gonna wife her eventually, right? Eventually you're gonna get desperate enough. And they didn't. Ooh. And older millennials are following behind them even worse. And I guarantee you, Gen Z men will also. Yikes. See, the men are not budging anymore, right? The men aren't budging anymore. And shout out to there somewhere on the internet is a swoller or a divester lurking just to say, well, the issue is black men. You should expand your options. And so, of course, they're in the comments, both the live comments and the normal comments, saying that to Selkis. Sounds nice, right? Sounds nice, right? but 1.6 birth rate for white women. Ooh. Uh-oh. Somewhat stagnant divorce rate because they ain't getting married either. Yikes. Right. And thank you, Trell. Exactly. We learned that it is cheaper to trick off with her. Exactly. And Passport OG says, and what's going on, Passport OG? Gen X seen a lot of parents divorced and get cleaned out. Exactly. You know, okay, fine, fine, ladies. Let's do you a solid. For many of us, and I grew up hearing this from sisters and girl cousins, and how they not gonna be like our mothers, right? They ain't gonna be cleaning like this. They ain't gonna be doing that. They ain't gonna be doing this. Fine. If women have these low-level traumatic experiences where they look at their mothers and they're like, I'm not doing that for no man. I ain't gonna do what my mom did for my dad and da 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 da, or what my mom did for my stepdad. Fine, fine, ladies, fine. That is your prerogative, right? When you see an argument, or when you're witness to an argument, or when you know your parents are having a little issue in the house, and you say, "Yo, I'm never gonna let no man talk to me like that, like how dad talks to mom, and I'm never gonna da 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 da." Okay, fine, cool, perfectly okay, right? We all have our own ideas of what things should be, how they should go. Fine, ladies, if you thought that, you don't think the boys were also thinking, "Oh hell no, hell no, ain't no woman gonna be talking to me like that." Oh hell no, I'm not staying. I'm not getting married. If that's what marriage look like, oh hell no. So the girls and the women get to say what they're not gonna do, but the men can't. The men just gotta eat it. The men gotta eat the disrespect. The men have to eat the insults to his masculinity and his manhood, right? Oh, because of the power dynamic. Don't you get it, Z? It's the power dynamic. It's different when we do it, right? Huh. So we have to be honest, that the boys and the men saw moms play dads, moms play stepfathers. We all know mom got a secret area in a drawer in the back in a pants. With depending on how well mom and dad are doing in life, with a couple of dollars in there, could be just $50, $100, could be $1,000, could be $2,000 in the back somewhere, hidden somewhere, right? So if the girls have those experiences, why do we act like the boys don't? Once again, the boys and the men are raised in the same single mother homes as the girls and the women, right? And AB Media 83 was going on. AB says, "Are you doing a panel? Maybe later on today. Maybe later on today. Let's just say I can't do it right now because Mr. Z is living life real reckless right now. If you know, you know. Don't say it out loud, right? So yeah, right. So no, Sulcus, and we know we have at least 1/3 of men who hadn't had sex in a year, right? How many men under the age of 30 are virgins? Y'all got to come to terms with these numbers, man. Yes, the women are having sex with older guys, and they're having sex with the same guys. They're having sex with older guys and the same guys. Y'all are sharing men, right? and the birth rate is going down, so we can't even say, oh, but they're still having kids. Y'all not getting married, but y'all still having kids. Yeah, the birth rate is outpacing the marriage rate, but yeah, they not having kids like that. We're not at 2.4 children per woman, 3 children per woman, 4 children per woman. We're not in that era no more. We have to have a complete. I came in the Black Manosphere. I keep on saying this because I'll be patting myself on the back for these type of things. I came in the Black Manosphere saying this. We got to speak about this differently. Everybody talking about Keisha and her hood ass ways and her behavior, and I'm all for critiquing the behavior. But that whole welfare queen thing, that's dead. I came in the door saying that's not a thing. That whole she got 6, 7 kids from 5, 6, 7 dudes. It happens, absolutely. But at least to me, the person who's more dangerous than Keisha in the hood with that is her educated sister, who intellectualizes misandry for white racist folks. Yes, Keisha is a problem, absolutely. But the Kim Fosters are a bigger problem. She not sounding as toxic as she did. Well, she's still sounding toxic as hell. We going from 100 to like 99.5 in the toxicity, right? Because now she got her a little dude, so she turned it down just a smidge. While she's still going back and forth with Obsidian. Right. But yeah, the Ebony K. Williams and the Kim Fosters. So no, black women aren't having 3 million children. We're not in that era. These people ain't having children like that. So, Selkis, is not exactly what you say. What we're having fundamentally is the Mouse Utopia experiment on steroids. The materialism and the consumerism that was advertised to a good portion of Xers, all millennials, all Gen Z pretty much, is coming back to bite America in the West in the rear end, including in Black America. Your daughters are saying they don't want to have kids because they want a lifestyle, bro. It's that simple. Your daughters are saying they don't want to get married unless it's to a baller dude that could provide them with a lifestyle. Y'all just don't know how to grapple with this. That's all. They're saying it, and it's like y'all don't get it. Right? Your daughters are saying it's the lifestyle over everything. Dear America, this is something that you're going to have to come to terms with. Right? It's something you're going to have to come to terms with. As you talk about black men the way you do. So, Selkis, the women are pathologizing men. That's when you were describing them wanting a particular narrative about black men, it's the pathology of black men. It's always Jermaine's fault, right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And we're not actually going into detail about this enough, if at all. Right? We're not really honest about this. And y'all give Mr. Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. But yeah, so this is how we got here. Yeah, and so cause she tried to get other women and be like, hey, what the hell? What did Ebony K. Williams say? That's wrong. But even in that, they still gotta find a way. And the brother told her the truth, like, yo, this is a man thing. Like, men are like, yo, it's not worth the risk. And Suckus is like, oh, it's all risk. Yeah, I hear you. What we're saying, it's not worth the risk. the potential reward is not worth the risk. That's what we're saying, right? For black men in the black manosphere through words and actions, but through, other men through action. They're showing you it's not worth the risk. And instead of us really critiquing why the men wouldn't want to be getting married to the women, we're finding weird ass ways of telling them to take the plunge anyway. Do it anyway, even with a 50% divorce rate. And if you're black, a 70% divorce rate. That she's most likely going to file. In other words, be wary of it, do it anyway, and they get bit in the ass for doing it anyway after the fact. And for someone like me, you, Selkis, to ask you, well, what did you do wrong? Right. Y'all got to come to terms with this environment and the type of daughters y'all raised. And their worldview and their mentality and their consumerism, right? And their love of negative liberty. They want to be free, man. Right? They want to be free. That's why they don't want to be married. Right? Unless, of course, you're a baller. And Compassionate says, and men are saying, go F yourself, sis. Quite literally, go F yourself. Right? Oh yeah, the Petit Bourgeoisie, yeah, the Ebonies and the Kim Fosters, absolutely. And they bask in that position. And I still think Ebony is wrong. Let me actually make sure I say this. No, ladies, you're gonna have to marry men without college degrees in high numbers too. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, but the hypergamy. Oh, it burns. It burns. You're telling us to date down. You're telling us to marry down instead. Oh, yeah. I wasn't supposed to say that. Ooh, that's even anti-black manosphere. Oh yeah, I said it. And first, it's not settling because I ain't saying nothing about your dress size yet. God damn, Mr. Z. Yeah, I said what I said. If this is the environment, y'all hear how white women are talking right now. Y'all hear them, right? No, I said what I said. No, screw all that. Oh, yeah, equally yoked. Ain't no equally yoked. A few of you will get that, absolutely. And all the rest of you will either be single, be the jump off for the side chick for one of these college educated, well to do guys, because it's not just college education you're looking for, let's be honest. That college education is supposed to signal a particular lifestyle, a particular income level. So y'all could be the side chick for one of these guys, or you can engage in same-sex loving relationships, right? Or you could just be single. And there's, by the way, you know what's interesting is that when these people say, "Oh, I'll just be single," then yeah, nobody cares. Dear women, dear black women, nobody cares. You're I'll just be single then is not a threat. You know the only reason people care, even on the margins, that you're still single is because you're talking crap. That's why Kevin said single women keep women single. Nobody actually cares about you being single. What we care about is all the crap that comes out of your mouth to justify why being single is all that. You know how Lonnie Love was doing it before she ended up with the white dude? Yikes. Talking about how great it is to be out here in the dating scene and how great be single life and she don't got to worry about nothing. And the second she ended up with the white man, all the tears, it's so good coming home and somebody's there to greet you. And when you come home from the airport and somebody's there to pick you up. Huh? Huh? Nobody actually cares about you being single. It's not a threat. Well, the U.S. government cares about you being single because you ain't in a relationship, and then you're not having no children, and you messing up the economy and the tax base, and a future person that could potentially be in the military because these white folks is messing with other people, and there could be a war. And there, look, well, that's one less soldier on the line. All right. They swear they do. Well, I'd rather be single then. I'd rather be with my cat. But y'all don't understand. I'd rather be with my cats than be with one of y'all dusty men anyway. Who cares? Right? Oh boy. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 second. Boy, they be trying. How you know when a woman shoot her shot? How do you know? Right? Compassionate said, Mr. Z's whiny divesta voice is hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about, Compassionate. It's not fair. Why do they get it and we don't get it? Why are black women always told to settle? White women aren't told to settle. We're always told to settle. Why can't I get a man with a degree and some money? It's not fair. What, it's not fair that whoever the white technocrats and social designers are lied to your ass? It's not fair? And they sold you what to aspire for and made you absolutely delusional? And so it's not fair that what black men are and aren't these things? In other words, the black men that are spoiled for choice. The black men that aren't, you insult. And the white men that are spoiled for choice. The white men that aren't, you'll still mess with. Oops. What, it's not fair? It's not fair that your desires have been informed by this society, cool, mainly by white technocrats and white wealthy elites. Uh-oh. Oh, wait. For the first time in the past, what, 600 years, y'all thought white elites were telling y'all the truth? Wait a minute. Wait, black women, wait. For the first time in like the past 600 years, you thought white elites were telling you the truth that if you did this thing, then you would get that thing. Wait. Go to college, get your degree, and then the man that you outcompeted for this position, well, let's say, okay, affirmative action, for this position, for valedictorian, for this career path, somehow magically he's going to still be doing better than you, and then he's going to marry you when you need him to, because you don't want to necessarily, be in that type of relationship in your early 20s, maybe even your mid 20s, maybe even your late 20s. But by 30, 32-ish, you just want this to poof. This man just appears, and y'all go on a couple of dates that he spends $1,000 on, right? And then he asks you to marry him, and y'all have $100,000 wedding, and he got you walking around with a $50,000 ring, and he put you in a $250,000 car, in a few $1,000,000 house. and you climb up the corporate ladder, and then you get pregnant, and then you're a stay-at-home wife. And then when your youngest child is about 6 years old, you go back to work, and then you climb up the corporate ladder again, and you in the C-suite. Does this not sound like an upper middle class or rich or elite white woman's life? Let me say that one more again. White woman's life. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right, Michael Ross. And when he proposes to you in front of the Louvre in France, right? In front of the Eiffel Tower in France, in front of the Leaning Tower in Italy, in front of Big Ben in Britain, in front of the concert hall in Sydney, Australia, in Prague. I would say Red Square, St. Petersburg. I would say St. Petersburg, but I don't know if you really want to go to Russia right now. Right? Yeah, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, exactly. Oh, not compassion. I ain't say 35,000. I said a $50,000 ring. Right? You know, y'all remember, and it's only a couple months old when men and women were going back and forth on social media, girl math versus boy math, and the women were trying to mock men for that. How they think that we're delusional. Man, if y'all never really sat down and see what y'all are asking for. I said ask. Sorry, demanding. Right? And the cost of it. Rest in peace, Kevin. That's why it was beautiful when Kevin used to run them numbers for y'all and then tell y'all, oh, by the way, that's like 1%. Where do you live? Okay, let's see. That's about 5% of men in your area that earn that much or more. Where do you live? Okay, that's the top 1%. Where do you live? Okay, that's the top 10%. They don't do the math, bro. They just say, I want it. I'm gonna get it. And as they get older, we all got the aunt. We all have the aunt. We all have the alpha widowed aunt that used to deal with. We're black. That used to deal with D boys, and she was all in the scene in her 20s, and then you know, eventually he get caught or he get murdered, and now she been alpha widowed by a former D boy, and then she don't know what to do with herself. She ain't never gonna get back up there again, right? In other words, a Marjorie that never married Steve Harvey. We all got that aunt, and we all have the aunt that tell you what she ain't gonna sell it for, what she ain't gonna do, and da, da, da. Single year one, year five, 10 years. Even what's the name of the Little Bill on the Black Manosphere review for FD Signifier, and he tell you, a whole bunch of single black women in the black community telling you, I'm gonna find me a white man, and da, 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 and his brother say, yeah, and white people be looking, oh my god, black women really talk like that? Yes, yes, they do. Delusional as hell. Encouraged by women like not Cynthia G, but yeah, actually Cynthia G, Chrislyn Karazin, and Chrissy. Compassionate said, seen that movie 1,000 times. Look, I'm Haitian down here in South Florida. We got aunties like that. Right now, it's more these women are becoming alpha widows for scammer dudes. Still dudes in the streets, on some D boy stuff, but scammer dudes. They live in the high life. In their early 20s, he get caught, and she just trying to go. She still got to live that life. So now she all in the scene trying to find the next lick. Pun intended. If that's happening in the street life, you don't think it's happening in the square life too? And so the difference between now and back then are women are, not having children. Okay. But it's not that the marriage rate is going down and then the birth rate is staying steady. It's not. It's not. So no, Selkis, it's not. Right? We frame this all type of wrong. And we'll pause right here, and Mr. Shook to you says, the Pookie in me knows their freedom is essentially more beneficial to me. The rational me knows it will destroy culture without the control of women. Or without the control without of control women. Oh, without out of control women. Without of control women. Exactly. Right? Yeah, but okay. If you out here and you are one of the brothers that's killing it, you're either good looking or you have the gift of gab and you're charismatic, or you have your resources like that, or you have all of these things, all of the above, then yeah, these quote unquote, women that are operating off of just straight, you know, negative liberty, oh yeah, that's great for you. Oh, that's great for you. But all the other brothers and men, mm, right? It ain't looking good. Right. Huh. So the brother told Selkis what it is, and she still either she doesn't get it for real, or she does, but she's gonna still stick to her guns. Take the risk anyway. Even though she's more likely to divorce you, right? Take the risk anyway. Because you're still having kids with her. Well, actually, nah. We're not in that world anymore. So we just gotta be honest about it. Right? That's why I brought up Gabrielle Union earlier. It just randomly struck me a little early. I was like, wait a minute, because I didn't, when that whole thing was going on and people are speaking about it, and I realized I didn't really say too much, but Gabrielle Union essentially told y'all like she's paying for her opinions and her say to be heard in that house. Okay, nothing wrong with that. But D Wade said like, yo, I pay the bills in this house. Y'all act like y'all didn't hear. Boy, that selective hearing and that selective memory. Dear women, you act like y'all didn't hear what Gabrielle Union said, why she started paying stuff. She tried to pull rank on him. She is older than him. She tried to pull rank, and he said, I pay stuff at this house. She did what y'all said. She got her a younger, famous, rich man. She got her a famous rich man. And he pulled his man card. And she said, see, I can't let you do that. I'm gonna start paying. I can't let you do that. And y'all act like that. Y'all didn't hear that. Right? Oh yeah, Eric, you're right. You're right about that. Eric Deadman says, "Don't forget, Z, that proposal in front of the Louvre in France has to be streamed live on Instagram." Oh yeah, because she got to do the same thing, Sierra did. She got to giggle and then show the ring and be like, "Ooh, look, see, look, he finally proposed. See, look what he did." Because it's not about you, man. Like you're interchangeable, quite frankly. It's not about you. It's about the show off, right? That's what it's about, and we gotta like our society just is just really blatantly like messed up about this, right? It's really bad with this. Exactly, Demetrius, and Demetrius says, take the risk from my ego slash feelings, basically. Exactly, right? And Detroit says Paris Milan and Sinji be praises the white man, and Paris Milan is married to a whole black man, right? Married to a black man, talking like that. Because black women just want to hear it's Jermaine's fault. They pathologize black women, pathologize black men, and they just want to hear it's Jermaine's fault. And Suckis kind of gets that. She don't want to fully accept it. She don't want to fully accept it. That's what it is. That's why they had an issue with what Ebony K. Williams said. Because what they're saying is there is no good black man. If y'all ever read through the comments when this whole thing popped, they're like, well, the black men in college, they're not marriage minded anyway, and they don't have anything. See, the women don't want to take the risk also, Selkis. That's the part. The women don't want to take the risk also. See, the women are saying, I'm not going to be like my mom and do the whole quote unquote struggle love thing. So you're asking me to date, marry a man right after college and then quote, wait for it, build something with him. I ain't building nothing. He better come already built. I'm not going to risk that he doesn't become rich or well off or upper middle class or at least stable in the way I see it, which is really, quite frankly, rich. If you want to talk about risk, Selkis, the women are telling you they're not willing to take the risk. They're telling you that through action. The women are saying rich guys or nothing, upper middle class at worst or nothing. Look at the marriage rate, Selkis. Look at who's getting married and staying married. Look at who files for divorce. The women are showing you through action what they about, and everyone in our society is acting like they don't see it. You have Richard Reeves trying to frame it in a way that's non-offensive to the women, and he's trying to say it in this way and say it in that way. Same thing with Scott Galloway, even though he's just a little bit more brazen with it. The women are telling you, yeah, look, marriage is not a thing. I don't even want to have kids with these dudes unless they ballers. Everything is showing that. Everything is showing that. And then we watching our entire society cop please. We keep on beating the men over the head with everything in our society showing you. The women are saying, yo, baller, exactly, Trail, baller bust. Hysterical. But yeah, does that mean that brothers with no money aren't going to get some? No, we're not saying that. We're not going all the way doomer because people are still having sex. Not like they used to, though. I give that another generation or two. When people find out 50, 60%, 70% of men under the age of 35 are not having sex in a year, in a good 25, 30% of men under the age of 35 are virgins. That I give enough, not even another generation or two. What is Mr. Z saying? Within the next decade, I think that's going to be a thing. Shoot me. If this ship doesn't get turned around, oh, you better believe it. Because women have slightly different standards for other women. They'll be engaging in same-sex loving relationships, particularly in the black community. A whole lot of women are going to be doing the Princella thing and being the side chick to the baller dudes. And brothers with some resources will be ending up with African sisters and other black women from the Caribbean and Latin America, ending up with non-black women from overseas. The brothers that don't got it like that will be practicing SYSBM in the country. And the brothers that don't have it like that will be, you know, very well acquainted with the Jergens lotion and the Xbox and PlayStation controller. And adult content online. Right? Wow, Mr. Z was talking to himself. There you go. Look at that. I don't even know how long I was on mute. Right? But once, you know, and going back, because I think I said something about Chrissy. Did y'all catch that part? Right? Okay, we'll just rewind. Anyway, yeah, so what I was saying was, you know, you had women like Chrissy speaking about Kevin and saying, you know, um, my image, and he's insulting my image. And no, Chrissy, other black women insulted your image. Other black women wanted to get a black man told so bad they showed their ass up front of the world. See, it's okay when black men fall on their face in front of the world. We get a good little 5 chuckles. But when black women of your likeness try their hardest to embarrass black men and then they show their ass and they're the ones who's actually embarrassed, that's what y'all have a real issue with. That's what you had a real issue with. That's what Kim Foster had a real issue with. That's what Kendra G had a real issue with until she started her own show and then realized, uh-oh, goddamn, these women are as crazy as they were on Kevin's show. They do sound that delusional. They do sound that insane. They really are those people. They are who we thought they were. Right? Yeah, that's real. Yes, that's absolutely real. Right? So this is what happens often, dear Miss Selkis Raid, that y'all don't really know how to deal with that. Right? And Selkis is among one of the betters in this situation. That's the crazy part, everyone. Right? She's not on the abort black male babies side of the game. Right? She's not on the being quiet about it. She's one of the better ones. Oh my God. The bar is in hell. Right? And Leon says, and thank you for the super chat, my wife pays bills, which gives her one of the privileges to have a opinion. Otherwise, this would be an authoritarian dictatorship. Paid to play. Emphasis on the dictatorship part of this statement. Right? And don't worry, Mr. Z is an extra average, regular, smegular, blue collar worker, born and raised black man in America, right? Me and my girl had that conversation. If she was to win the lottery, how this relationship would go, and if I don't dictate where this money and how this money gets spent, you give me my cut, I'm out. Oh yeah, just because you won, that don't mean nothing. Y'all think I'm joking? I'm not joking. I'm really not. I promise y'all, I said it to my girl to her face. I don't trust you with your own money. And this is the love of my life. I said it to her in her face. Oh yeah, Mr. Z said that. Yep, and I meant it. Right? No, we have to be honest. We have to be honest. And the issue that we're having is even for women like Selkis Ray who are attempting to say, listen, ladies, Ebony K. Williams has a point. If you're looking for a particular type of outcome, the best chance you have is in college and university if you're that serious about it. Even though Selkis was trying to say that, she still kind of went off the reservation when she said, "Oh, y'all still having kids with these men?" And no, like not really, not like how you think. Right? The marriage rate is going down, but the population isn't actually. And that's why my title is actually. Right. So yes, everyone. Um, Look, Selkis, I hear you. But no. Yeah, nah. These young people ain't having kids like that no more. They're not having sex like that no more. Particularly the men. I said this to Selkis before. And she act like she ain't hear it. Do you understand what's going on for real, Selkis? It's not the men. I don't know where I got it. Like, yo, I gotta meet like these people, not Selkis, but like these technocrats that are talking crap and just it's not the men. All these like educators and you have particularly for the black community, right? So I want to be very clear with this. Like, it's not black men. Like I said, I want to do a part two to the hetero pessimism because specifically, right, for black men, it's not black men. The women, black women, are showing you what they on. They're telling you and they're showing you. That was the beauty of Kevin's show, right? That was the beauty of Kevin's show. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Leon. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. That was the beauty of the show. The women showed you the contempt. And I want to do like a review of one specific clip. And I might do that a little bit later this week. And it's not even that long. One specific clip of Kevin having to, lecture. It was short, but lecture a sister that pretty much was speaking like she was better than her own people. And Kevin had to say, "You talking about your people? You talking about your parents?" And I said it before, like when it hit her, she got real quiet. You talking, and that's these women. They're so hard up pathologizing black men. They don't realize what they're saying about all black people. Oftentimes, about other black women. Y'all saw when Ebony got in her bag and these parents, I don't know, your mothers and you're mediocre, and black women so pathologize black men. Black women want to defecate on black men so bad. I'm telling y'all, they will murk anyone in the way. Anyone they perceive in the way could get it. I would like to direct y'all to that attorney that was going at the white male judge because she wanted to throw that young brother in prison or in jail. She was going back and forth with the white male judge. You imagine that. A white female or a white male judge and a black man want to throw a black young woman under the prison, under the jail so bad. He starts bickering with attitude, mind you. Black women, the world see y'all. That's what y'all real issue was with Kevin. The world saw how hard and how much y'all think y'all better than black men. And if you think there's not some muhaha, this is where the Republican Party start making a play for black men. This is what Ebony Kim Williams, black men are jealous of black women's feats. And no, the rest of the world saw how much and sees how much y'all talk down to black men. And even though they're disingenuous, they're going to make one of those muhaha plays at black men. You got to believe it. And the Latinas and the white girls that want some chocolate in their life, even if they're not going to marry, they're going to make a play at black men even more now. Y'all done showed y'all, even Samantha Cooker, yes. All the divesting and swirling thing just push black men further away. And Latinas, Asian women, white women, gay men, anyone that's into black men, you better believe it. So unlike your generation, Miss Samantha Cooker, who y'all do all this talk and all playing around, and then you come back around in your mid 40s and late 40s and early 50s and catch you a man on the second half of life. For these young women, there's not going to be no men for the second half. No black men. You better hope to get an oops baby from one of these desperate white dudes. One of these Latinos. Thank you, Lion. And Lion says, turning on the marriage-minded, quote-unquote, marriage-minding switch, and all of a sudden men are just supposed to marry you just because. They really think that. I want to be free and fast. And let me be very clear. I am not for telling young people that you don't get to experiment and live life. How you experiment, now, that's a conversation. But I'm not saying that we shouldn't have the ability to grow and mature and figure out how we want to do things and when we want to do things, right? I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that it is becoming very clear how deliberate It is to, we're going to live free and fast and do whatever we want to do and stick the middle finger up at men all through our 20s. And then as we approach 20, try to take this seriously, definitely on the other side of 30, have a kid from him, divorce him, and then go live our life. Back to the streets I go. Right? Huh. Y'all got to be honest that in the black community, black women got a love for that negative liberty. No constraints, no restraints. No one having anything to say about what they do and how they do. Right? I'm grown. Okay. Right? And going back, rest in peace to Kevin. That's the issue that a lot of women had with Kevin. Black women had with Kevin. That the world got to see how crazy it is in the black community. And it looked ugly. You imagine you are a South Asian or East Asian, you fall on a video of a 23-year-old condescending down to a 56? How old was Kevin at the time? 55, 56-year-old man, and a 23-year-old woman is a condescending down to a 50-some-odd-year-old man. Y'all didn't even have no class and no couth with it. Who's trying to settle with average anyway? You imagine? I want y'all to understand. It's not that black women cared that other black men saw this. They didn't care nothing about that. I almost lost my religion right there. They didn't care anything about that. It's that the rest of the world got to see that. It's really hard to keep on pathologizing black men to the rest of the world when white men, Latino men, because it's not even the women unless they're LGBTQ. It's that non-black men got to see, oh, that's why y'all not with black men like that. That's why black men ain't marrying y'all so much. Oh. That's why black women had such an issue. It's non-black men that were like, oh, okay, I get it now. Right? Y'all lucky Kevin ain't stay alive for another 2-3 years. Right? Because it was very clear. And y'all can go through the comments now. I recently sat down and re-listened to the video that he did reviewing the swirler that called in that tried to throw the white man in his face. And you had white men in the comments like, and it was genius how Kevin framed it. He let it be known this black woman who probably secretly wanted, she was attracted to Kevin. We all could see that. But when it came to it, she tried to flex not a relationship on Kevin, not marriage on Kevin, the very specific fact that she's in a relationship with a white man. How am I tying that to Selkis Ray and Ebony K. Williams and this childbirth thing? It's about this white man can provide me this lifestyle. Simply because he's a white man. Selkis, the birth rate is going down because women in general are saying, yeah, if I can't have this, I want nothing. And that's okay. Right? But yeah, it was genius how Kevin framed it. He made it very clear. And it was beautiful that she said that. right? Well, I guess I don't, essentially she was trying to say, "Oh, I don't have to worry about what you Negroes think because my white man don't act like he don't function like that. See, when you Negroes get a little bit of money and power, y'all go overboard and you think you could dictate to women, particularly black women." And it was genius how Kevin then reframed that, because that's exactly what she was trying to say in that video. Oh, see. I don't have to worry about that because white men are used to power and money. So when they have a little bit of power and money, they don't act the way black men do. Black men try to become dictators when they have a little bit of power and money. White men are not nothing like that. Meanwhile, white women have a whole different conversation. Let me get this right, black women. White men with money and power dictate to white women, but they don't dictate to black women. What? Right? And Lion says, and thank you for the super chat. I watched the vid. She's talking like black women are in a position to demand anything with no leverage. Majority of women, including black women, wasted their peak sexual market value (SMV). But they don't. I think we have people that they're just not thinking like that. They're not. They're not. Hmm. They think they have way more power and influence than they actually have. They think they have more of the leverage than they actually have, if any leverage. They fundamentally they play down your requirements, because that's what it's all about. Like when you see women play down men's care about women's, how they present physically, or their health, or their weight, whether they're a kind person, they play all of that down because it's, once again, the dual mating strategy. So that's what they're caught up in. So it's always about making what you want, making what your requirements, playing that down, marginalizing it, minimizing it. Right? This is where you get into the talk or the framing in the black community of what black men aspire to is white patriarchy, while what black women aspire to is justice. Now, the divestors and swirlers, particularly divestors, it's really hard to make an argument when you hear the divestors speak, because the divestors are very clearly very neoliberal led. But other women are too. Black women in general, just like other women are, right? They've commodified men and masculinity. In general, the divestors are just the loudest about it. But what we're caught up here in is the dual mating strategy, right? And it's just women trying to play down and minimize your requirements, your standards, as being shallow, right? As being dumb, as being juvenile, while speaking about their standards and their requirements as the business, right? And tying that back to what I was saying with Kevin, and that's where this whatever black woman it was, that's where she come in, right? The white man is serious, black men are just playing around, and black men with some money and some status, they're juvenile and they have these weird requirements like looks. I actually had a black woman that I was dating at one point really ask me, what black men with money and status, they care so much about looks. You don't see Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't. You don't see him like that. You don't see Bill Gates like that. She literally, I am not joking. I had a black woman tell me that. First, Mark Zuckerberg is ugly. Damn, Mr. Z, he's ugly, bro. We all know it. Stop it. Let's grow up. Now the dude's fit, but that is one. You know what? Anyway, rich fit dude. He's fit now, right? He's doing his mixed martial arts thing, but that is. Y'all ever see them lizards at nighttime that be next to the light? I'm just saying. Stop comparing black men to the lizard at nighttime. I'm just saying. Number one. Number two, and this happened. So I was dating her before the whole thing that came out with Bill Gates and him, having this retreat area that he goes to with his not high school, but college sweetheart, once a year and his wife had to sign off on that. She's so lucky she didn't say that to me after that. Right? Yeah. She's so lucky she didn't say that to me after that. But yeah, you don't know what these white dudes be on. Right? So, I actually really like this comment that Leon says right here. And Leon says, justice equals assimilating into whiteness. This is equal to my small hat friends who have always been white and marry white women, but black women marry white men and taking status. I think you meant to say status from it. Um, so which one it's one of the Funky Academic's more recent videos, maybe over the past 3 or 4 weeks recent, maybe even the past 2 weeks. um he speaks about this, and he's said this multiple times, and I would love to speak to him to kind of elaborate on the way we see woman and the way we see man. And I think Leon know where I'm going with this. It's white. Like when you're aspiring for whiteness, a very I'm excuse me. See, I said see, I already let it out the bag already. But when you're aspiring for woman, a very specific type of woman, you're actually aspiring for whiteness, right? Because, and I said this before, right? Woman doesn't exist in a vacuum. Which era are you speaking about? Where are we living, right? What are the cultural contexts? In America, in the 21st century, when people think women, people, not just black people, they're thinking, and and you see this from women of color. That's what I love, is that their actions are so goddamn blatant. They're aspiring for upper middle class and above white womanhood. That's why I say what I say, right? And so I'm agreeing with Leon on this 100%. It is an appeal to, and this is where the swirlers and divestors, give them credit here. They're just loud about it. I want to be treated. I want to be a upper middle class and above white woman, and the only one that can get me there the closest, not just the money, but the status, right? This is why there's a difference between a black man elevating you and a white man elevating you. It's assumed that a black man with money, right, that's with a black woman, is going to elevate her and elevate her likeness. But a white man, it got to be the white man with money. It can't be a poor white man, because then he's settling, right? It can't be a rich black man, because it's assumed that, of course, nigga, that's what you're supposed to do. It has to be a rich, well-off, preferably famous white man, because it only counts then. And the swindlers and the divestors are just the loudest about it, right? But the Funky Academic says the realest thing about this aspiring to a particular brand of manhood and womanhood. And I would argue, for the most part, that's not what black men are aspiring to, right? That's why FD had to make a separate video for the black manosphere, because believe it or not, black men and majority aren't aspiring to be white men. Dear black women, guess what? And this is one of your issues with us. We actually, and I'm going to say the actual word, we actually don't want to go around the planet and rape and pillage and colonize and destroy just to make about 20% of you what about 20% of white women are. I'm sorry. Black men just, we would love the power, but if the rape and pillage part and the killing babies part, yeah. See, I got to make it ugly for you, right? and every other day another species of animal and plant go extinct because we pollute and stuff part, right? The big trash pile in the Pacific Ocean that's as big as a state, the space junk all around the planet, right? I don't know about all that. Do we have to do all of that to put you, about 20% of you, in the position that about 20% of white women are? Right? The occasional textile mill in India that got to catch on fire with 200 and something people dying in it, right? Workers that are working with some of the important materials and cell phones dying in 9 months, a year from toxic stuff that's coming out of those materials. You want us to do that, to be those people just to put about 20% of you, right? Just so you can have more Les Moonveses and Rupert Murdochs and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs to marry, and Elon Musk and Branson and whoever the hell around this planet, white dudes around this planet. So y'all could be more like Candace Owens, in other words. So you could marry a son of the Lords of London. So you could be more like Meghan Markle, right? So you could be like whichever the name of this, the ADOS sister that married one of those princes out of where is he from? Right? Huh. So that's what this is about. Hmm. And Eric Dedman says, I'm happy I helped you get to that epiphany. And Eric Dedman says, Ozzy, that's why black women say it's different when wealthy black men marry white women as opposed to black women marrying white men. They are just too cowardly to say it's social status. Abso-freaking-lutely. And thank you for the super chat, Eric. Look, I said it. When people in general, but particularly women. This is why, shout out to Toya. This is why I'm really good at deciphering what the hell nameless be saying sometimes, and definitely excuse me, y'all. Goddamn, give me 1 second. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, what nameless is saying sometimes, and what roguish is saying, right? Because if you understand where the conversation is going and you understand the sentiment, oftentimes it's easier or clearer to get to the message behind the words. The message behind the words. So when you listen to divestors speak, when you listen to swirlers speak, when you listen to your standard black woman speak, that's what we're talking about. Right? So with when they say it's different when a black man ends up with a white woman compared to when a white man ends up with a black woman, it's because the white man is elevating her status. This is what even Dr. Jennifer Lundquist understood with the dating divide. It's the idea that this master of the universe, because of his skin and his class, right, is elevating, and this is where intersectionality comes in, the least of us. In America, the least of us, a black woman, particularly a darker skinned black woman, right? This is where what's his name off of Dawson's Creek ending up with what's her face again? Out of Britain, I forgot her goddamn name already, right? Queen and Slim chick. This is why this is that elevating her status, right? So it is different because a black man ending up with a white woman Jody Turner Smith, thank you. Headflix, thank you. Right, a black man of means ending up with a white woman. It's like, okay, yeah, okay, whatever. You bought her, right? The assumption. Let's get okay. Thank you, Eric, for that. Let's get into it. A black man of means ending up with a white woman. The message is, oh, he bought her, right? He bought her. But a white man of means ended up with a black woman. Once again, because he's a white man, the idea is that he had his pick of the litter. He could have ended up with an Asian woman. He could have ended up with a white woman with the aquiline features. He could have ended up with a lighter skinned black woman, racially ambiguous woman, a Kim Kardashian looking white woman, right? A Latina, a mestizo Latina. He could have ended up with a J-Lo. He could have ended, but he chose a black woman. Oh, and a darker skinned black woman. He elevates her status automatically. Because this is a white man of means. That this is the captain of the universe, right? Master of the universe, a white man of means that said, you, black woman, essentially instantly turning her into the pretty chick in front of the club. Right? So when we didn't really know the details exactly, and we still don't really know the details of Ebony K. Williams and the white dude in the breakup, how was I framing that? Shout out to Artisan MC. She got kicked off of Mount Olympus. I kept on framing it like that. She got kicked off of Mount, because the idea is when the white man, especially of means, chooses you as a black woman, he is bringing you on high to the top of Mount Olympus, to where the gods stay, right? To where the gods reside. Right? So, of course, for many women, but particularly black women, a white man of me, and God forbid he's good looking. Oh man, she done won the lottery, right? That's why Lizzo wasn't trying to get at Michael B. Jordan. She was trying to get at with Chris Evans, right? Chris Evans elevating her, that would have been man. Y'all couldn't tell black women nothing if if Chris Evans would have seriously, not play, seriously dated Lizzo, man, boy, the think pieces that would have came out of that, the videos that would have came out of that, the articles and the newspaper and the magazines and the if a Chris Hemsworth would end up with a Lizzo, oh my God. Right? What's the other one that played Superman? Whatever his name. If he man, y'all could the think pieces and all of them would have been subtly jabbing at black men. You see, the captain of the universe. In other words, the man that's better than you, even if you have money and status as a black man, it doesn't matter. He's white. The man that's better than you acknowledges our beauty. And isn't that the message that the black women that end up with white men, even if it's a white man that's just regular smegular, isn't that the subtle, right? Isn't that the subtle message that's sent to black men? Isn't that some of the message that these colorist women make? See, the white man appreciates my darker skin. Translation: the man that's better than you, dear black man, right? By the fact that he's a white man, just by the mere fact he's a white man, the man that is better than you acknowledges my beauty. So who are you to me? Right? Henry Calville. Thank you, Charles. if Henry Cavill and Lizzo were dating, mess around and get married and have a kid, do you the only reason they not really going in on black men about Gabby Sidibe is because her man ain't really known like that. And he kind of look a little off. But if he would have been any white man of note and that was actually attractive and famous, man, because the message isn't really, it's not really about him as much as it is a well-to-do white man that could have chosen any woman, chose a darker skinned, heavy set black woman. What consequence are you to me, black man? I am better than you. Even when I'm heavy set, even when I'm darker skinned, you know, the same hierarchy that these same white men put into place. This is Serena Williams, right? Never mind the fact how many black men find Serena attractive. Never mind that. Never mind Jamie Foxx, right? Never mind the black men that drink Serena Williams bathwater. Never mind any of that. She ended up with a millionaire white man. Yes, he's not as famous as her. Yes, he doesn't have the money she has. But he's still a millionaire white man, and a tall one at that. Right? So we have to be honest about that. And tying that to the, coming to close, tying that to the subject matter. Dear Selkis, no, even black people are not having children the way they used to. The birth rate in the black community is actually decreasing. And if it wasn't for immigration of black people from the continent and from the Caribbean, y'all would really see that. Right? You would really be witness to that. If it wasn't for immigration overall, you would really be witness to a decreasing population in America. What is it in what a good 15 or so states? It's actually negative birth or a negative population. The population is decreasing because obviously older people are dying and younger people aren't having children. In about 15 or so states in America, I got to update that info because the last time I checked that, it was a few years ago. Right? And to go say fat black women wouldn't have known how to act. Man, look, if Henry Cavill married a Lizzo and had children with her, you couldn't tell. Man, look, man. It's not just that you couldn't tell black women anything. I would be happy for them celebrate. But it's the backhanded insults, right? It's not the celebration. It's like, oh, well, one of us got to win. I'm for black people winning. I'm for black women winning. It's all of it would have been predicated on black men ain't ish. Look, the white man of memes and status and good looks elevates us. And they could stop right there because everyone knows what they're saying. It wouldn't even be that they won, right? Black people in our current position, we like to see other black people win. We love it. And if black women saw that as a win, okay, fine. It's the backhanded insults. They would have been jabbing at black men the whole time. The framing would have always been, unlike black men, right? Detroit says, I know black men in their 50s would smash Serena. I'm not even just talking about sex. I'm saying wife of Serena. I'm saying if Serena wasn't famous and rich, they would wife her. I'm saying if they were famous or rich, they would wife her. Right? And it's interesting when you see the framing, especially when she had first married Alexis Ohanian or when she had the kid from Alexis Ohanian, and you saw all these black women pretending that it wasn't the white guys calling her all type of monkey and calling her sister Venus all type of monkey. Would they feel, oh, well, see, it was a white man that married her, not none of these black men. Look, Drake didn't marry her. Da, 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 da. But who was calling her a monkey? Yeah, there was brothers that didn't find her attractive and don't find Venus attractive. Absolutely. Okay, fine. But who was the one calling her a monkey? Who were, wait a minute. Let me get this right. Their father. Who was he protecting them from? Was it black men? It was, let me get this right. It was black men, these sports announcers. It was black sports announcers that he was protecting his daughters from? Or was it white ones? Right? Diaspora L, is she still a virgin for real? And Diaspora L says Venus Williams is still out here and still virginized. Is she? I know she's still out here with the white men, right? Right. I know she's still out here with the white men, and we said that before, right? Let's actually speak to that. We don't count. We count the one white man that the black women end up with. Nobody counts the fact that she was out here dating for a decade, nothing but white men, nothing but Latino men, nothing but Arabs and any non-black man, usually not Asians. So a black woman could be out here dating, getting smashed by, hoping and praying for a white man for a decade, ain't nobody counted until she ended up with that one white man at the end. Look, see, white men value her more. If that's true, then what about these 15, 20 guys that she didn't make it work with? What about these 10 guys she didn't make it work with? What about these 9 guys she couldn't make it work with? See, we count it when it's black men. A black woman can't make it work with 2 black men. We see it's black men. Once again, and tie that right back to Selkis Ray, we pathologize black men. Right? But a black woman out here hoping and praying for a white man. Venus is a rich, famous black woman. One of the best to ever do it. Right? Maybe not as great as her sister, maybe not as famous as her sister, but one of the greatest to ever play tennis. Period. And she can't get a. Come on, man. But if that's the case, then why is it Lolo Jones? Lolo Jones is light skinned with different color eyes. Wait a minute. Oh wait, she don't got no man neither. Ain't she a virgin too? Uh-oh. Am I saying the right one, yo? Or am I mixing her up with someone else? Right? So, man, y'all gotta be honest, man. Look. At the end of the day, dear Selkis, these women ain't having kids like that. They not getting married like that. You right? Yvonne Orgy, another one, but they're gonna say, oh, it's her features and it's darker skin and it's the men. And I just told you about the light skin, hazel eye or green eye, whatever Lolo Jones got. That's out here same way, and everybody could see her attitude. Ugh. Yep. If I had to choose, I don't really like Yvonne Orgy like that either. But if I had to, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably choose Yvonne Orgy over Lolo. Lolo, bleh. Yvonne Orgy don't look like she off her rocker like that, like that. Lolo look like she off her goddamn rocker. Right? But for the Yvonne Orgies, we're gonna say, oh, it's because of her skin tone and her features, and then okay, yeah, that's it. Y'all gonna admit? I'll give Succus Ray this. Succus Ray will admit that these women be gone. She will. She will admit y'all, their inferiority complex. She will admit y'all think white men are gonna fix everything. Y'all think y'all want to be white. She'll say stuff like that. She doesn't sound like us though in the black manosphere, obviously, and we shouldn't expect that. But I will give her that. But I still say y'all don't really get it. I agree with that, by the way, Hitflix. I agree with that. Oh, but wait a minute, Hitflix. That means you're not a colorist. Wait a minute, Hitflix. You trying to tell me the light-skinned black woman with the different color eyes isn't fine just because she's a light-skinned black woman with different color eyes? Wait a minute. You trying to tell me maybe Chrissy has it wrong? We not elevating the light-skinned black woman with the different color eyes just because she's a light-skinned black woman? We actually saying, maybe not. Huh. I don't know. Look like there's something wrong with us. So on that note, everyone, we'll truly pause right here. I don't want to make better you too, right? Mr. Z, Mr. Z say he's about to end down. Wait another 2-3, 2-3 end outs, right? Huh. And on that note, look, y'all gotta start acting like these women got some goddamn agency and authority over their own destiny. And when they don't have kids or get married, it's not always Jermaine's fault. Right? Look at Leon. Leon said, no, some light-skinned girls with green and hazel eyes are ugly for real. Wait a minute, Leon, you not a colorist neither? What the hell? Kelsey, not you too, Kelsey. And Kelsey says Lolo Jones seems much more agreeable than Yvonne Orgy. I don't know, Kelsey. I think it's the other way around. I think Yvonne Orgy looks way more agreeable than Lolo Jones. Oh, you're saying the same thing. Oh, no, I read it wrong. I'm sorry. So me and Kelsey are in agreement. Let me read that again because me and Kelsey are in agreement. And he says Lolo Jones seems much less. I said much more. I don't know why it registered as much more in my head. But once again, Kelsey says Lolo Jones seems much less agreeable than Yvonne Orgy. I agree 100. Wait, Kelsey, are you saying that the darker skinned black woman, we're saying that she's not masculine compared to the lighter skinned black woman with the different color eyes? Oh my God, everyone, wait a minute. The black manosphere is saying the darker skinned black woman actually might be more attractive. Now, mind you, we saying both of them, yeah, right? They're too old. But if we had to choose with a gun to our head, it looks like we're saying we would rather go with the darker skinned black woman than the lighter skinned black woman. If we had to choose, what? Wait a minute! I thought we were all colorists. And we were saying that the darker skinned black women they're masculine just because they're darker skinned black women. KFC. I'm laughing because KFC is a darker skinned black brother, so I get to laugh. KFC said the light skins are winning. Hysterical. Oh, I'm reserving that for my oldest cousin on my mom's side is very dark skinned. Oh, I'm gonna flame his ass with that one. I'm gonna get him. That's hysterical. Oh, the night skins. Oh, that's hysterical. Oh, next time he says, I'm a brown brother. I'm not light skinned. I'm not dark skinned. But one time he's like, yeah, Z, you light skinned. I'm like, light skinned where? But next time he says something like that, oh, I'm gonna get his ass. You just saying that because you're a night skin. Oh, that's hysterical. Yeah, this is true too. You know, this is true too. And I'm saying that as a brother with that's currently in a relationship with a light skinned black woman, and yeah, yep. I don't know what's going on with this. Look, y'all, we breaking stereotypes. Look, this is illegal. We're supposed to be out here, yeah, light skin for life, right? Yeah, light. We're supposed to be like, oh, yeah. Lolo Jones is way more attractive. As a matter of fact, she's a supermodel just because she got lighter eyes and she's lighter skin. Yeah, exactly. Indigo neck blanc. Exactly. I don't know. Look, once again, BGS tell us they're on the same level, which is Kelly Rowland and Beyonce. But I love having a debate, right? But according to women like Chrissy, there is no debate for black men. It's always going to be Beyonce over Kelly Rowland. Yeah, that's it. And especially for dark skinned men. Meanwhile, Charles is a dark skinned brother and he chooses Kelly Rowland. I'm many shades lighter than him, and I choose Kelly Rowland also. But I'm just saying. Y'all better get y'all life together. Y'all looking, yeah. The internet got y'all looking goddamn retarded. Man, I said it. It's social media and the internet was the worst thing to happen to women. They think they winning, but they really not. It just exposed all of the crap, right? Y'all got to run the yard when y'all had the white man's microphone in y'all hand. I meant it the way I said it, pun intended. Y'all got to run the yard. Once this social media internet democratized the town square, oh man, not anymore. Just saying. I'm not even reading y'all comments out loud. Y'all got me dying. Oh man. Leon, I ain't even gonna read that out loud. Uh they had one that called into Corey's show way back when. I think he was on RMC, and she sounded like Inky. Inky, was that you? She sounded like Inky, and she said she was going off on Corey, and she said, "Yeah, the good virgin women like me." And once Corey Holcomb heard "virgin," oh, y'all know who Corey Holcomb is. He flamed her ass. He flamed. Oh man, bruh, I gotta go back and listen to all the old RMC stuff because to me that was peak high. If you think Corey Holcomb's funny now, man, y'all ain't see Corey Holcomb back in Speedy Comedy Corner days, and definitely the RMC days. RMC days, or RMC Radio Corey Holcomb with Zoe Williams and Bobby Glanton Smith, man, but that was Jesus Christ. That was a different era, Corey Holcomb. Jesus. You ain't seen funny until man. I would have loved to see Corey and Patrice O'Neal in the same studio together. Gee, man, you want to talk about? I gotta go pee. Demetrius said, "Yeah, let's normalize the night skin term, light skin and night skin." Right? I was once confronted with that years and years and years ago. I went to a club with some friends, and it was two baddies. I mean, one dark skinned said they were Jamaican, one dark skinned sister, and one light skinned, and they were both thick and bad. I'm like, oh, you know when you're just like, is that one? And then there's that one. It really was Kanye, like, you got one light skin like Michael Jackson, one dark skin like. It was really like, which one do I choose? Which way do I go? Right? It was really that you couldn't choose wrong either way, and they were friends. I'm like, this should be illegal. How y'all both bad? How the hell is somebody supposed to choose between one of you two? Usually it'd be, they have the one that's, a little less attractive, and I didn't really mean little, but no, but both of them were bad. It's like, which way do I go? Right? GCC, whichever one is feeling you more. Exactly, right? So on that note, everyone, we truly gonna end out. Goddamn, I am proving better you so right. We're truly gonna end out. We'll pause right here. Right? Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. And I'm going to try to open a panel, if not later on today. Definitely, I don't have any plans Friday. So maybe Friday, if not today. But yeah. Emerald Edge at the last minute with the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Emerald Edge says, and I'm once again, thank you for the super chat, Eric. And Emerald Edge says, kudos to KFC for starting some that will spread of something. Okay, I get what you're saying. Kudos to Kevin C for starting something that will spread throughout social media right here on Mr. Z's channel. Night Skins, let's go. And I think Demetrius said something like that also. Where's Demetrius' comment? And Demetrius said, the term night skin started here on Z's channel. Copyright that. And I'm pretty sure people have said that before. I'm almost certain. That's not nothing new. But we're going to popularize it starting here on Mr. Z's channel. Right? I hope the darker skinned brothers and sisters don't. Well, the sisters are going to get offended because, of course, darker skinned black women get offended by everything. But I hope the darker skinned brothers don't get offended. Right? Mm. And Dre says, there's some baddies from Jamaica, but their attitudes is horrible. Look, I love the Patois accent. Y'all don't understand. That's like one of my that's my weakness right there. But Dre is 100% right, bro. If you listen, dear ADOS men, as a brother out of the Caribbean, first generation American, but out of the Caribbean, if you think the matriarchy in America is bad, you ain't seen nothing. I'm telling y'all, man, Jamaicans, yes, they have, just like in Black America, they have father-led homes, and yes, absolutely. But the matriarchy, man, whew, I'm telling y'all. I'll let Jamaican brothers speak for themselves. If you think you've seen vile, argumentative, abrasive women in Black America, you ain't seen nothing until you see their Jamaican sister who act that way. I'm saying that as a person born and raised around all different Black people in the diaspora down here in South America. I mean, South America, South Florida. Kind of is South America sometimes with the Cubans. Anyway, but down here in South Florida, I'm telling y'all, it's all. I can't really, because I'm not Jamaican, so I can't speak to it the way a Jamaican brother can. But man, See, Dre said it. Look, I'm Jamaican. LOL. That's my version of black women. Bro. I'm telling you. If y'all don't know, sexy Jamaicans are next level sexy. But the abrasive, argumentative, fucking loud, man, it's just a different level. You got. Ooh, if you ain't ready. See, but Buddy said it too. Matriarchy is strong in Jamaica. My family is matriarchy like a mug. I'm telling you, man. If you don't know, that's why y'all saw me go off on what's her name again? What is her name with the short haircut? Um, her face is right there too. That I went off on one time, and I was like Jamaican women. Um, what is her name? The YouTuber. What is her name? It's right there. I can't get it out. Her face is right there. Jesus Christ. Let me see if I YouTube it real quick so I can end out for real finally. What is her name? Let me see if one of y'all put it so I can remember. I forgot this lady's name. But yeah, that's why I went off that morning when I was talking about her, because it's just that the sass mixed with the Caribbean, particularly Jamaican attitude is just Tanya TKO. Tanya TKO. Thank you. Yeah, TKO. Thank you, Bud Buddies. Tanya TKO. Bud Buddies, is she Jamaican? But she's from the Caribbean. She's definitely from the English-speaking Caribbean. She's either Jamaican or from the USVI or from Trinidad. Her people from somewhere there, right? Bayesian, something. But I wouldn't be surprised if she's Jamaican. Not Tinora. Tinora, I think, is Jamaican. I Am Wolf. Yeah, Tinora is cute. But yeah, that's another sister out of New York or out of that northeast region. That that she's doing her whole, non-binary, freaking bisexual, whatever the hell thing. Next, right? Shout out to whoever end up with her. Maybe a man eventually, one day, possibly. Let's see. But once again, negative liberty. And yeah, when I look at her, once again, this is well-spoken, finding intellectual ways of saying I'm gonna do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and whatever. And I have no problem with that. Just eat the consequences. And it looked like a woman like her know what the consequences could be, and they're gonna deal with it however they deal with it. So I don't got no problem with Tinora. Tinora, you know what? Do your thing. Tanya TKO, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, bruh. Dre, Bud Buddies, take her back. Take her back. Put her ass on a plane and take her back. And cut off the internet access when she get back home. Jesus Christ. Tanya TKO is so many of my homeboys' mother. I'm telling y'all. She is so many of my friends that I grew up with that are Jamaican and from the English-speaking Caribbean, Anglophone, I guess you'll call it. She is so many of their mother. It's scary. And so many of them brothers ended up with non-black women, and you wonder why. Right? And you wonder why. They end up with non-black women. They end up with Black American women. They end up with, right? Jesus. But patois coming from Jamaican women, boy, that's sexier than mug. You see? And but you see what I'm saying? Exactly. Funny because son husbands are big in Jamaican communities as well. I know. Kind of in the Haitian community too, right? Y'all just don't know because we speak, Creole and kind of off-brand, patois version of French, pretty much like, Jamaicans in English. That's the best way I can describe it. So you wouldn't know. But yeah. Much of the same things that ill or that ale, better yet, the ADOS community, it's similar in the Caribbean. Y'all just don't know, right? My boy, one of my best friends actually, is out of the USVI, US Virgin Islands, and he went back home for a funeral, and he was telling me about the sisters over there and LGBTQ stuff, and I'm like, yeah, what you thought? He was like, bro, it was great. I'm like, what you thought? Right? Just saying. So, on that note, we will truly pause right there. Look, we really got to pause right there. I'm gonna say that a million times and never get off if I don't now. And yeah. So from now on, hear ye, henceforth, night skins for darker skinned brothers. Yeah, and we'll end out with a comment from PK because I think it is perfect for this. Wait a minute, what? He said I went to see Tanya TKO box and jump rope from 2 weeks ago. Okay. And PK says, and we'll end out with this comment, it's similar amongst all of us, especially because of slavery and the dynamics imposed over generations of people across everywhere it touched down. I agree, 100%. 100. The dynamics that were imposed on us by white folks, you want to talk about patriarchy, by white patriarchy, yeah, and the dynamics that it put black men in and black women in, that we are still acting out till this day, right? This is why BGS and the Nameless Protagonist speak about how Reconstruction changed the dynamic, at least for those 12 years, right? So, on that note, everyone, what are we going to call brothers like me, the brown skins, right? Gray skins? Mid skins? Mid skins? Mid skins, that's what we are. You got the light skins, the night skins, and the mid skins. All right, everyone. We'll pause right there. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.